afternoon, everybody. It's Tracy Di Bartolo, Thermomix consultant here. If there's anybody out there, would you please give me a wave or a thumbs up or something so I know that you're there, even if you're watching the replay afterwards. It's really great to know who's been out there. All right, well, welcome. And today I'm going to do some fig ice cream because I've got a great deal of figs at the moment, and I've done fig jam and fig paste and just looking for other ways to use them up. So I did a quick Google and came up with the idea about doing fig ice cream. Now, I couldn't find anything on Cookie Do, so what I decided to do was to go into what we call the recipe community here in Australia. So it's been around for many, many years, and its content is full of amazing recipes that everybody has just submitted themselves. So it's a really great platform to have a look at. If you're looking for something, can't find it on Cookie Do, have a look on the recipe community. Now, if you find something on the recipe community that takes your fancy, it is a really simple step just to add that to your Cookie Do, and it brings it into a thing called your created recipes. So that's what I've done. I'm just going to shut the window because someone's decided that they're going to mow right now. So one moment, please. Okay, hilarious. My apologies. I'm back. All right, so basically, recipe community, find something that you like, scroll down the page, there's a green button there that it says add to Cookie Do. That brings it over into your created recipes, and you can edit it, tweak it, do anything that you want, and then it ends up in your recipes in the folder that's actually called created, sorry, I'm a bit backwards here, created recipes. So if you can see my screen, which sometimes is a bit hard, you'll see that there's one here called fig ice cream. And I have tweaked that and changed a few little things for myself, and I'm pretty happy with it so far. So I'm going to show you how to do it. So once you've got the recipe up on your screen, because you've got the ability to go through and still use guided cooking with this, that's an absolute godsend as far as I'm concerned, because I'm really can forget where I'm up to. So I'm going to start cooking, and the first thing, it just says congratulations, thanks for bringing this recipe over, and start cooking. So you can see that on the screen it's all the normal steps that you would see. The format is a little bit different, but you still have the same end result. Now, I have pre-done quite a lot of this because there's you've got to freeze it in advance. So I'm just going to talk you through what the ingredients are and what we've got so far. So the first thing I did was I grabbed 300 grams of my figs and laid them into a container, poured some citrus juice, I just used lemon juice on them after I quartered them, and I put them in a container. I'll show you the container that they came out of. So I've got these nice low sort of containers. I line it with a plastic freezer bag underneath, put it all in there, and I've got a lid as well. So that goes into the freezer, and I'll froze that overnight. Then in your Thermomix, the next thing that you need to do is to make up a custard. So the custard is just some sugar, some egg yolks, one whole egg, 300 grams of milk, pinch of salt, bit of vanilla bean paste, and that's it. So you put all of that into your Thermomix and cook it for 10 minutes, 80 degrees, speed 4. Now, if anybody wants all of these instructions, I'm very happy to type them up and put them up on my page. Just give me a thumbs up or just say yes, please, for the recipe so that I know whether to do it or not. All right. Then again, I put that into a shallow container, so similar sort of container, and I find that with anything that's like this, that's custard or cream based, to make it easier to get out afterwards, I put the freezer bag over the top. That makes sense, like that. Then I pour the custard in, put the lid on, pop it in the freezer. And it means that when you want to get it out afterwards, it's quite easy just to put your hand in here in the plastic bag and lift it out. And you can see I've cut it into little chunks. So that's just a little tip from me to make life easy when you want to get something out of those shallow containers. Okay, so that's my 2 lots of frozen things that I had ready. And the next step, it says, is to pop some cream in with your butterfly. So you're all familiar with your butterfly. And just do it for 30 seconds to begin with on speed 4, because we never ever go above speed 4 with our butterfly in. I always keep a little bit of a watch through the whole and make sure that you don't over whip it. So you just want a nice firm whipped cream like so, okay? So don't make it into butter, just make sure that it's a nice firm whipped cream. How long that's going to take is solely dependent on the cream that you are using. So don't despair if it doesn't whip up in the first 30 seconds. Just keep going, but keep a really close eye on it because it will just turn just like that. Okay, once you've done those 3 steps, then you're ready to actually just add them all together and make your ice cream. Okay, so I'm going to skip past all of those instructions about cooking the custard, about doing the figs and freezing them, and I'm going to go to the section when it comes up. So that's doing the cream, whipping the cream. Okay, so then it tells you after you've whipped the cream, you can just take the butterfly out, scoop out most of the cream. You don't have to be too fussy because we're going to be putting the ingredients back in again. All right, so now it says to add the frozen figs. So here's my figs that I have pre-frozen with a bit of lemon juice. I'm just going to pop those straight in, and we are going to blend them for 15 seconds on speed 6. Now it does say that you can use your butterfly. So just like so, see? Okay, because when you're dealing with frozen ingredients, they tend to sort of not fall down to the bottom of the bowl, but you can see there, that is my frozen figs, and they've come to a nice creamy consistency. Now at this point, if you look at them and you think they're probably not munched up enough and they're not creamy enough, you can always just go back and do that step again. No problems at all. But I'm happy with that consistency. All right, next step is we're going to add the frozen custard. So I've got my frozen custard here that I've done in little squares, and then just this last little bit of the blocks of custard. Pop all of those in there like so. And of course, you know, you've made your own custard, so you know exactly what's in it. The first lot is just frozen fruit. So again, you know what's in it. There's no nasties. And now it's asking for us to, again, for 15 seconds on speed 6, and using the spatula to help keep pushing down any ingredients that might be coming up. And it's quite odd when you do something like this for the first time and you pop your spatula in through the hole. If you've never done it, don't be scared, it's fine, because the collar on here, let's see where I can show you, there you go, the collar on there is positioned so that it can't make contact with the blades underneath. All right, let's have a look at that so you can see. Now, excuse the shadows, but I can see that there's a couple of bits of that custard that's still got little squares, and I want it to be much more blended in. So I'm going to go backwards, just go back a step and do that again. 15 seconds, speed 6, just to make sure it's all blended nicely. Awesome. So making ice cream is dead simple. It's really just a matter of preparing your ingredients like your custard, your cream, your frozen fruit. So there you go. It's starting to look a little bit more like ice cream. Now, the next step is that we're going to add our cream, our whipped cream. So I've just sort of moved it off to the side a bit so that when I go to the next step, it tells me to put in the whipped cream, which I'm going to do like so that they're basically sitting side by side, not one on top of the other. I've just found with practice that it means it will blend together much quicker. Okay, here we go. There's my cream in there, so you can sort of see they're side by side. Wonderful. All right, so lid back on, and now we're going to do 25 degrees on speed 7. And again, feel free to use your spatula to combine the ingredients. Wonderful. Okay, next, let's have a look, see what it's looking like. Oh yeah. So that is beautifully blended. Now in the recipe that I chose, that's actually really good. In the recipe that I chose, it also gives you the option of adding some chocolate, I think. So it says 100 grams of dark chocolate with roasted almonds broken into squares. I've just chosen not to do that because, quite honestly, I don't really think it needs it. And the other tip that I'll give you as well, while I was setting up for this live, I had my frozen ingredients out for just a couple of minutes, just while I was setting up. And I found that that has meant that it blends up much easier. The first batch that I did off camera to practice, I got directly out of the freezer and started blending it immediately. And it took a couple of goes to blend it. So my advice to you now, having done it, is just to get it out for a few minutes, not too much. You don't want it melted. Oh my golly, look at that. So yesterday we went out with a whole bunch of friends, and where we were, they sell a lot of fruit, and they had made their own fig ice cream. And of course it wasn't cheap for a cone. Well, I've made that for very little. A little bit of milk, a couple of eggs, and a bit of sugar, and that's made your custard. The figs I got for free off of our tree, a little bit of lemon juice, and then just the cream. That's it. So a whole litre, and there is still more in there, but that might not make it into here. That might make it into a bowl for me. You can serve it immediately as a soft serve. Otherwise, just pop your lid on. I use these from the mix shop because I find that they stop the ice cream from getting icy. They're quite thick walled, and they've got these beautiful silicone lids which I write on them so I know what ice cream is in it, and then I can just wash that off afterwards. So there you go. If you want the recipe, please just put your hand up or do me a love heart or say yes please, and I will type it out and put it onto my Facebook page. If you are watching this on YouTube, then if you're subscribed, you can always send me a message and I would be happy to type out the recipe and give it to you also. So that's it. Thanks very much. Oh, I've already got a yes please. No problem, I will do. Love to you all, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for joining me.